Welcome to Withdraw Consent. I'm Jack. This is Victor. Basically, we're going to make an episode, and it's going to take a long ways to get there, to encourage you that there are things you can do to alter the future that are within your grasp, that are manageable, possible, practical. So the idea for this video started when I was watching Styx Hexenhammer.
Okay.
And he was saying something was happening. I don't know. Donald Trump was getting arrested. I don't know what it was. Something. And he said, just for goodness sakes, don't do anything. Don't go out in the streets. Don't do anything. They're trying to get you to do something. If you do anything to try to stop tyranny, they're going to use that against you. And I just said, and I pictured in my head, like, you know, like you come into a room and they're like, what are these dudes are dressing up like Indians? What are they talking? Boston Tea Party. And you're like, no, friends, no.
Don't act.
Let's not do anything. If we do something, there will be a retaliation. Could even come in the form of a massacre. We cannot do such a thing, friends. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So anyways, basically, I was talking to you on the phone.
Yeah.
And I basically related this whole point. And then he came with an amazing V for Vendetta analysis.
Okay.
And so I'm totally all yours.
First off, I don't know if I need to give spoilers on a movie that's like 23 years old.
I don't think so.
You need to have watched this video, though.
You
this movie.
need to have.
Incredible movie. Besides just being a COVID prediction 20 years before it happened, like how the government would react and all that. It's just, there is so much good dialogue and amazing movie. So
yeah, it's so much food for thought.
Right.
Stuff you can think about.
You can't be doing other things while you need to sit there and listen. It's a long movie, but well worth it. So I was watching a clip on YouTube, and it was the clip towards the end of the movie where the main detective was trying to figure out what's going on. This is the morning of the 5th of November, and he said he went out the quarantine zone, and he went to where V had been experimented on. And he said he was standing there, and I got this feeling like I was in the middle of this whole thing, like everything is connected, and it's this one giant story. And he goes on and on. It's way more in depth than what I'm saying. But as he's saying that, they're showing all these images. And so some of the images that they intersperse in here is V setting up a bunch of dominoes. Then they have the different actions that are happening kind of in real time as he's saying this, like on that day. And it's, all the people are getting the V mask and the V cape. Mm-hmm. And they say at one point, it's over 100,000 people got these. And
did you notice that in those shots, they also showed future things that hadn't happened yet?
Yes.
Okay, that was interesting too. Okay.
Yeah. And, then you end up with the little girl with the glasses on the outside of the mask, and she's playing, and the terrible cop is, telling her to stop because I'm guessing she's impersonating a fugitive or whatever. Shoots the little girl. The neighbors come out with pipes and bats and all that, and it doesn't end well for the cop, which escalates the cops. Their response ends up being riots. The military is deployed. The people are marching. It's just crazy escalation that happens. And so I got to think, and it ends with, V's knocks down all the dominoes.
Yeah, tons of dominoes, makes a whole V.
And, it's hundreds or thousands of dominoes, but I got to thinking, like, how many dominoes were there in this whole movie? Like, what parts did he play? So in my mind, he blew up the tower at the beginning of the movie, which was the night going into the 5th of November of the previous year.
Right.
And then he breaks into the TV station, and on that same day, on the 5th of November, and so he can play his recording on the emergency, like, national broadcasting, so everyone's TV is tuned into this. And his speech that he gives the people is very short, 2.5, 3 minutes long.
Great speech.
Incredible. Like, he's just defining the problem. The world is terrible. It's your fault for doing it, the people.
I understand why you did it.
Right, I understand.
But
if
you see something wrong, right.
And then, if you want it to be changed, meet me at the Parliament building next year, and we're going to show them why the 5th of November should be remembered again.
Right.
Again, or, something like that.
Yeah.
And then there was nothing for a year. He had his own things where he was getting revenge on people and, whatnot. But the next thing he does is he sends the masks out.
Right.
And that little thing he primed them a year before, the people. almost kind of activating him almost. And then the capes was the final thing, and the little girl, and
Right.
and then you had a good point. He was also mentoring the girl
Right.
to be the voice of the people, make the decision whether the train goes to the parliament or not, and be that final spark, or the final domino. Exactly.
Right.
So there's only like 3 or 4 things in this whole movie that he actually did, but they were incredibly precise and perfectly timed, and just really well thought out. And so I was thinking, like, how do you apply these specific things, but we're always trying to figure out, like, on this channel we're defining, here's the problems, and then we also have videos of, look at these, we have a potentially great solution, how do we get from here to there?
Right.
And so I'm always trying to figure out, like, what are the steps?
Right.
And so that was the conversation. Yeah.
And so in the video there was a ton of dominoes, but in reality it should have just been a couple dominoes.
Yeah, just a couple,
click, done, like one small V of 3 dominoes.
Right.
Gotcha. Checkmate. And so then when we were talking about this, I was thinking about, like, well, what other situations can we apply this to? And you look at the American Revolution. I don't know all the facts about the American Revolution. I know that there was a Boston Tea Party, right? Which Styx says, no, do not do under any circumstance.
Right.
I know they wrote a stern letter to a king.
Okay.
I know that they were massacred in Boston.
Okay.
And I know that they had a successful revolution. But there's not a ton of things.
Right.
There's not a ton of things. Just certain things have to happen. At Lexington Concord, that one guy has to fire his gun. Because you remember they all walked away. I don't know if this is just folklore or not, but they all walked away, and there was one irascible old man who took a shot at him because they said, return to your homes. Somebody's got to fire that shot.
Right.
But it's very few actual events. And so what we're trying to say here is, and if you got some good examples of crazy things happening with very few events, put them in the description. But it's like,
this isn't a video to go out and fire the shot, by the way.
Oh, it's not.
This is definitely not a call to violence, or 100%.
It's a don't be black-pilled video.
Right.
It's sometimes it seems like there's nothing I can do. Well, do something. Don't do something drastic, but do something. It could be drastic and good, but like, I'm not saying
right,
what you're thinking, but. Like, so for example, we were talking about this video right before we started, and we said we started this channel, and this is what we're doing. This may not be one of the things. It may not even be close to one of the things. Maybe this channel will just put in the mind of one of the major players who's going to do one of the 3 things necessary.
Right.
And will never be mentioned in the history book. Fine with that.
And my response to that was, well, what if we're the guy that then talks to the guy that talks to the guy, and
doesn't matter.
I'm fine. That's cool.
Right. As long as my kids don't end up in a gulag for being white kids.
Right.
Or something even worse. And so basically that's just the point of it. Even the V for Vendetta movie, which I really like, it seems to give you the impression that it takes all of these dominoes to do something great, to fight tyranny. I don't think history says that, really.
Right.
I don't think that that's really accurate. I think, and one of the examples I was thinking is about the guy in Vietnam, the monk who burned himself.
Okay.
And you've seen that picture before of some guy who you can't pronounce his name.
Right.
You've never even seen his name in print, but he made an impression on the world.
Right.
And at the time when there was anti-war movements and stuff, what he did mattered. And I'm not saying go do that, please. Right. But I'm just saying it doesn't take huge things.
Right. Just key things.
Yeah, you have to be there, but you have to be there. You have to be doing something for if you ever want to be a part of something,
right?
And even if it's just dropping a comment, and then somebody else comments on that comment, and then it starts a thing, you're contributing, right? Or drop a episode idea.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Something in the description like you should really cover this. This would mean you will be affecting.
But that could be the episode that we do that gets to someone like
right.
You can be part of the chain,
right? Okay, and so that's basically that's what we got.
Yeah.
So if you enjoy this episode, join us on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific and 11 a.m. Eastern, and click like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.